Happy days. Well, just briefly back to Tuesday, and you sort of talked about what it was you wanted to see a little bit more. Did you get a bit of that, more of that?
I just thought it was important. Obviously, everyone was very, very low. 94th minute winner against us. Sometimes you've got to take the medicine. We've done that a lot over the last few years when coming back and or winning games in the last 10-15 minutes. So we had to take our medicine. 1 minute it's the inside of the post, comes out, the other one it goes in the back of your net. So my first thought then is let's not let this dwindle and turn into you know, a bad run, shall we say. So it was nice to put it right Tuesday night against a Yeovil team that only made one change from their team that played extra at the weekend. So it was pleased in that aspect. We made 7 changes, and I thought the boys put in a good footballing performance, shall we call it. Yeah,
and it was back to, I think when your teams have been at their best, there's been some lovely fluid stuff in the final third, and there were a lot more glimpses of that than perhaps we've seen recently.
Well, it's the same as I've said to my players, it ain't rocket science where we've been in the 25% of the season gone. Defensively, majority of the time we've been pretty solid. The keeper's done well, done what he's paid for, he's made some saves as well, which is good. So defensively as a group I thought we've defended pretty well, but we haven't had our match winners turn up on enough occasions so far this season, and they need to do a lot better. But we're defending and we attack as a team, and he's certainly you know, it's not held responsible to any individual person, it's just as a group we've got to do better going forward, better in our build-up, creating better opportunities, all those bits and pieces that go with it, to make sure we push on this second quarter.
I'm sure you'd have said in advance of Tuesday's game, this is a chance. If you haven't played as many matches recently, go out, show me what you can do, and a few of them must have given you headaches.
Yeah, but you know, Rodman's been injured. You know, he hasn't started his Bristol Rovers career. Same as I said to him the other night, go on, start it. You know, you know, certain things, players have different issues where things aren't going well in their private lives. You know, I'm not going to dwell onto that on certain players, but there's other reasons, and can be more reasons why players haven't hit the ground running and took a little bit more time to settle. But now I feel like the group's settling down a little bit, and certainly I'm hoping for a lot more consistency in our performances, and more of our match winners turning up, and certainly picking up a hell of a lot more points in this second quarter. So we're looking at it as positive. That's the way. The best way to be. We ain't been thrashed by anybody. We're not a million miles away, that's for sure. But we've got to do a lot better as well, and we know that. And we'll try and start that again Saturday.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely one of those. I mean, he showed his best self. He went out there, made a real impact, and so on. Alex, a couple of goals in these competitions in the checker trade. He's giving you food for thought.
Listen, that's what happens. You know, the match winners previously haven't been doing the job, so it might be time for one or two to step up the plate and try and take on that mantle and kick us on, while not giving up on the rest of the players. I think people know the way myself and my staff work. We try and get the best out of the players all the time while they're representing Bristol Rovers. That's all the way through the youth, through the 23s, through the first team, making sure that we keep working on players. You've got to produce more. We know that. And certainly the buck stops with me with regards getting that improvement out of the players. So, but like you said the other night, one or two get an opportunity and took it.
So Burton this weekend, I think a lot of people would have expected them to do very well this season. It hasn't quite clicked for them so far.
Well, listen, what I'd say there is a footballing word. I think Nigel's done an unbelievable job. The year he kept them in the Championship, it was better than any feat of any manager in all the way through the 4 divisions. Burton are a small club. They've been massively punching above their weight. They've got a fantastic manager in Nigel. They haven't had a terrific, a great start to the season. But this division's very competitive. I ain't fearful of playing any team, anybody. You know, when we played Peterborough and Plymouth, Portsmouth. Sorry, should I say Portsmouth was the better team against Portsmouth. We're not fearing any team we play up against. It's tight. We're certainly not overawed by who we play. Burton's another team, sadly, that we go to that haven't had a good start, but certainly well respected and a great manager, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, and I think you're right about Burton. They're a club that have been run exceptionally well, and they've
been
showed,
spoiled.
Yeah,
We've been spoiled. That's what it is. You know, that's the way I look at it. Is the fans have enjoyed the ride, and you know, Nigel got them from non-league and pushed them way through the divisions years and years ago. You know, and kicked on to manage bigger clubs, and now he's back. It's his club. Certainly the fans have been spoilt with a couple of years in the Championship where they've massively overachieved, and we're aiming to try and replicate that at some point and keeping working hard. So, but it'll be a tough place. It always has been.
Yeah, but it is an inspiration, not just for you, but for any team that shows, you know, if you can get things right off the pitch as well as get a good group on the pitch.
You know, the pleasing thing there is that they train at St George's Park, and if you've ever been to St George's Park, it's pitches are rubbish. No, they're not. No, they're great. They're great. So yeah, they've got the facilities to use that, but it is it's not a very well supported football club, and I'm sure the finances are there. They're not going to have the spending resources anywhere near of what other Championship teams had last year, and they'll be a lot more competitive, certainly in League One this year.